How's it going, Martians? Welcome to the report. And in this one, we're going to talk about how diversification is simply, as the picture here says, ignorance protection. Or in the words of Mark Cuban, diversification is for idiots. And I've talked about this in an episode or two that I did last year, but I think this needs rehashed. And I think that it needs to be something that we really talk about. Seriously, because I don't think that a lot of people really understand what diversification is and how absurd it is for somebody to pretend that because they're diversified within crypto that they're somehow a more savvy investor when it comes to this ecosystem. And so, first of all, what is diversification? Let's answer the grade school question, right? What is diversification? Diversification is the division of your net worth across multiple spaces of investment, such as, we can either say across different industries, such as you have 10% in precious metals, 10% in cryptocurrencies, 10% in the stock market, 10% in the housing market, so on and so forth, right? Diversification across a broad range of markets. Or you can look at it as diversification within a specific market, such as crypto, and that would be that you have 10% of your crypto investment within Bitcoin and another 10 in XRP, and so on and so forth. Now, why is it that I'm sitting here making a video about how diversification is for idiots or it's ignorance protection? It's because I am tired of getting in Twitter debates with people regularly too. It's not just today. Today I just got into one with a few people that's just triggered me to make a video about it, right? But the reason I'm making this is because individuals need to stop acting like they're somehow holier than thou because they aren't betting on one project and they're diversified. They're spreading their wealth across the industry. But the ignorance in that comes from the fact that consider you did just that. You invested in the top 20 stocks within the .com bubble. We'll say the top 20. Even just the top 20. Of the top 20, how many are still there? MySpace is dead. Pets.com's gone. And if the only ones that are still there is Google, Amazon, and YouTube was bought out by Google. And I don't think that they were actually listed back then anyways, but nonetheless, if you look at the top 10 or the top 20 .com companies of 2001, most are already gone. And we literally have like 4 or 5 of those left, if that. And so if you diversified across them, instead of hedging your bet on intelligent, forward-thinking CEOs leading certain companies with a vision for the future, such as Jeff Bezos, such as Sergio over at Google before he left and formed Alphabet, then you were left at the mercy of probability. And in that situation, if you diversified evenly across the top 20, you lost money. You didn't make money. Sure, Amazon went up, tenfold from, well, even more. It went up 100-fold from its 2001 bottom. But you lost all the money you put in your other 18, 17 others that failed. So you didn't make money. You lost money. That's not sound investing. That's dumb investing. And it's because of a few reasons. There's a few reasons why somebody diversifies. A, ignorance protection, as the little GIF here shows, which is okay. You have the self awareness to know that you're ignorant, and so it's not sound for you to invest across this market. But that goes back to principle, a key principle of investing, and that is don't put your money where you don't in a market you don't understand to begin with. That's just dumb. It doesn't matter how much you diversify to try and cover your ignorance. You're a fucking idiot if you're investing in something you don't understand. I don't care if you're invested in XRP or anything. Whatever you're invested in. If you're in XRP and you don't understand it, you're still a fucking idiot, even if you get rich off it. Sorry. You're a dumbass if you don't understand where you're putting your money. You're a dumbass if you're putting your money in things like it's the slot machine. Because there's a mathematical, a formula that you can follow to determine the success rate of a company, even when it's just a startup like Ripple, and obviously their native protocol XRP, right? There's a formula for success, and if you apply that formula to any company, you can determine with a relatively high degree of probability whether they're going to be a success or a failure. It's the same formula that I applied to Google back in 2003, the same formula I applied to Tesla back in 2008, and it's the same formula I'm applying to Ripple now. And it's the same reason why 10 years from now, I'm going to be just as right about Ripple as I was about Tesla and Google. And I'm not diversifying across 50 coins. No, I'm going to get a phenomenal amount of money off of a single investment because I did my research and I stuck to my guns. And that's the other thing, that it's either you are ignorant of where you're putting your money, or you lack confidence in your own ability, your own rationality, and therefore you do not have the grit to make the money, the real returns that this market is going to offer very select number of people. Now, I'm not over here like a lot of other people in the space saying that moon's tomorrow. Moon's coming next week. Moon's coming next year. No, okay? From the very inception of my channel, I have told you guys that I'm looking 4 to 5 years out with this investment. That's a relatively short-term time frame to even look at something as far as a long-term investment. But that's just because I'm optimistic about how rapidly this industry is going to reach maturity. But at the end of the day, I will be here for a decade if that's how long it takes for the industry to reach maturity. And because I'm putting my money in this market this early on, when it reaches maturity, I'm not going to have to have worried about how much overhead, how much capital I risked for that phenomenal end payoff, like so many people will. It's like so many people right now, and right now the conversation is going around XLM. A lot of people are all happy because XLM went up 13%, and people are ecstatic. Mind you, XLM had a 36% dump a month and a half ago. XLM sat flat after that dump and barely moved a fucking percentage for almost a whole month. And now in the last week, it's gone up about 15%, and everybody's losing their goddamn minds. Meanwhile, XRP from its bottom has gone up 60+%. Just put that into perspective, okay? XRP didn't just go up to the moon immediately right after its bottom. But because it's been a slow growth, that's given you compounded gains back up to almost to our level before the dump, before the pump and dump occurred. People are pretending like XLM has been this magical unicorn payday, And look at what XLM's doing. Who gives a fuck? XLM's reached its previous resistance that XRP's been sitting at for a week and a half now. Woo! Woo! It's still below the range where people were screaming to buy it in October. Okay, if you're a trader, if you are trading on a daily, weekly trend and you're making money off it, more power to you, okay? Not talking to you. But I'm here, as I've stated, for months, years, a year now almost. Actually, I think we are right at that year of me starting the channel. So about a year now I've been saying that I'm here for the long haul. I'm an investor, okay? I have traded the markets, and I still do small trades here and there, but my bulk of assets within this market is an investment because I have vision for the future, and that vision makes me incapable of rationalizing the irrational behavior of short-sighted traders. And that's why I only trade on small positions, because I can't rationalize the lunacy, the idiocy of people who can't see 5 minutes in front of their face, who live in the past and not in the future. And that's the difference between an investor and a trader. If you can't see 5 minutes in front of your face, then hey, go be a trader, be a gambler. Follow the numerous chart analysts out here. You know, I've done it myself. It's not that hard once you understand the basics and you understand the key metrics that are actually at play and which actually determine the directionality of the market. It's really not that hard to trade the markets, okay? But you're still going to get burned numerous times, and the money that you make 1 week can be the money you make over a course of a month can be erased within one fucking day, because some whale comes in, some dickhead comes in with a big short position or a big long position and eradicates your trade plan in a second. And you're not going to find anybody that wants to talk about their losses. No trader ever wants to talk about their losses. We only ever want to talk about our gains. And that's the ugly truth. Everybody loses. Nobody beats the market. If they did, there'd be billionaires all over the streets. There'd be people with courses that are making everybody millionaires. Everybody know that person with the magic formula. They'd be a household name around the world within a week, because they made hundreds of people millionaires overnight, and everybody's bragging about them, how that person made them a multimillionaire overnight. And that person doesn't fucking exist. And anybody that pretends to be that person on crypto media, you might as well just start mocking them, because we all know they're full of fucking shit. Just a sad reality. And a lot of people out there want to pretend and hope and beg and dream that there is that magical formula, but it doesn't exist. Because we are creatures of emotion, and the markets are driven by emotion. Because even though a lot of robots trade these markets, the big moves occur from human intervention. Humans driven by their emotions, be that greed, be that fear, be that whatever, driving the price direction, interrupting the algorithms and their normal behavior. You can trade algorithmic behavior on a hourly trend all you want. Margin trade on that 2-3% fluctuation, and then get fucked by the 40% move, up or down, because you're shorting at the wrong time, you're longing at the wrong time. But I digress. This is about investing, not trading, right? That's why I'm calling out people who are diversified. And that's the reality too, is those people who are diversifying in this market, they're not traders. Traders can't manage positions across 40 different tokens. You don't have the time of the day to look at 40 different charts and follow them and manage all 40 different positions over the course of a day. Sorry, you don't. You have to have, unless you're running trading algorithms that are managing those positions for you, and then you're not a trader, you're a coder. But unless you have an algorithm doing it for you, you're not a trader. Don't pretend that you are. And if you are doing this, if you're seeing this person say, "Oh, I'm gonna follow this percentage because of this position I have in XLM, or I have this position in Bitcoin, or whatever shitcoin is pumping today," then be like, "Okay, yeah, what other coins do you hold? List all your other positions you hold." And then you can go back and look, "Oh yeah, you're up 12% there, but you're down 15% over here, 3% there. You're up 1% there, but down 6% over here." Yeah, you really made money? You really made money? No, you didn't, because you diversified across an extremely volatile, immature market. Because you lack the dedication to do the research into these companies, into these ICOs, to determine who actually is developing partnerships, who is building relations with important industry players. And that's why I think all of you are in XRP who listen to my videos, because you actually get it. You're actually paying attention. And yes, I know it's hard to stick to our guns now as the news has all but dried up and everybody that's left making content is just speculating. And that's why I've stopped making content so much about XRP, and I've started talking about what's going on in the greater world. And a lot of people in the community don't like that. But too bad, there's nothing to cover for XRP, and I'm not going to sit out here and make a bunch of bullshit content speculating and making shit out of thin air. Because I'm not here to mislead you. I'm here to tell you what the fuck I see happening in the world. And if you don't like it, too bad, I'm going to keep doing it. Because that's what I'm here for. That's the value I see myself being able to provide. Is my insights, my critical analysis of what I see going on and the outcomes that I see, the real world events going on right this minute, their impact on 2 weeks from now, a month from now, however far I can project these events into the future, their effects into the future. And a lot of it's really fucking grim right now. I know, guys. It's ugly. It's an ugly world we live in. That's the sad truth. I'm sorry that it's an ugly world. I wish it wasn't. I wish that I could just wave a wand and the whole world would be peaches and rainbows. But it's not. It's death and disease and starvation. And it's greed and it's ugliness and ego and all kinds of other horrors. And there's nothing that I can do about it. I'm just here trying to cover it and show you where it goes to. And sit here every single video I make since saying, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that Jesus Christ descends from the heavens and eradicates all the evil men and women and we go into paradise. All those of us who actually have good in our souls, we go into paradise because at this point, that's about the only outcome I see that we're not fucked. But I'm still sitting here hoping for the best. I'm hoping for the best and the ugly truth is, outside of that reality where Jesus Christ descends, the only other good reality, good being a matter of perception, is that there is some global elite cabal that's out here getting ready to initiate a one world order, and the coronavirus, it's a hoax, and collapsing the global economy is just a way to set everybody back to zero, and then they're going to initiate the one world currency that is XRP. Okay. You have two options, Mad Max or one world order under XRP. Those are the two paths we have forward right now. And as much as I would love the one world order where I'm a billionaire, trillionaire because of XRP, the ugly reality is we're probably going the other way. Because most people are not paying attention to the world of finance. And the world of finance is collapsing under its own weight. And there's not going to be no Bitcoin or XRP or any digital asset. Or any, and if you don't own your gold and silver in your fucking hand, if it's not in your hand today, you will not have any gold or silver when the collapse occurs. Because it's happening right now. So if you don't have those physical assets, you're already fucked going ahead. And the real reality, the even more ugly reality is that precious metals probably, if we go Mad Max style world, if the economy collapses and America goes into civil unrest, even gold and silver are not going to be valuable. The most valuable commodity in America will be bullets. The most valuable resource you can possess in the coming days, if America doesn't get its shit together, is bullets. and a gun to shoot it with. Because those bullets are going to get you food either in the form of taking it from somebody else or going and killing a deer. And that's the ugly truth. So, again, beautiful picture. XRP, one world currency, the global elites, they're just pulling wool over our eyes, and this is all a big scam, and yada, yada, yada. There's going to be cures for everything. We're going into a perfect world, you know, sunshine, rainbows, utopian, capitalist utopia. Or it's literally the end of human history as we know it, and we're going into a modern dark ages. And maybe humanity will survive in 100, 200 years, and a few, you know, in our great grandchildren's lifetime, they'll pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and maybe civilization will make a return. Or it'll completely collapse because the global biodiversity has collapsed, and the wilds of the world are in total disarray, and we've spread all these different creatures all across the world, creating invasive species that are destroying biodiversity. And maybe it's already too late for the whole planet. Maybe by the time that humans could make a comeback, it's already too late. Who knows, right? Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. I know I can paint a really dismal picture right now, but I've spent months painting the bright future for everybody. You know, you want the bright future, go back and watch my videos from before the cerveza sickness, before the COVID became the focal point of all of our lives, and it led governments to destroy their economies and obliterate the modern way of life. I hope I'm wrong. As always, I'll say until either I'm proven wrong or until the internet goes out and I can't tell you guys I hope I'm wrong anymore because I got proven right. But as I see it, I'm holding my XRP, and I'll keep holding my XRP because it doesn't matter at this point what I hold. Like I said, we're either going into a world where XRP succeeds because the elites have this big roadmap planned and we're just cogs in the wheel, or everything goes to zero, Mad Max world, Bitcoin doesn't survive because there's no internet to keep the mining operations conducted, to keep everything synchronized. And that's why Bitcoin loses in the end. That's why only XRP wins, because the only world where we come out ahead, or where crypto comes out ahead, is where the corporate elites keep the system together over top of our heads. Because guess what? They're not handing you the keys, average Joe. They're holding the keys above your heads and doing their damnedest to keep this system together. And so that means that the only people who will decide where the money goes at the end of the day, when all is said and done, is them, not you. You have pennies in this system. Those people in Bitcoin have pennies, and everybody they're trying to get in, they're trying to get pennies from the rest of the world into Bitcoin, and when it's all said and done, Bitcoin will be worth jack shit compared to what the network, the global elites choose, and they're choosing XRP, not XLM. Not XLM. And you don't have to fucking be an Einstein to see that. You just have to look at XLM. Look at what I'm spacing his name now. Jeb. Look at what Jeb McCaleb has achieved, if you want to use that word loosely with XLM. Jack fucking shit. He got the greatest achievement of the Stellar Foundation was a partnership with IBM, where IBM simply utilized the Byzantine their Byzantine model to create their own blockchain. They aren't using XLM. And in fact, that's why they fired everybody from the XLM team from IBM's blockchain team. And I wouldn't be surprised that if that's why Jeb McCaleb burned like 33% of the XLM supply. You don't burn a third of your coins in existence if you see it having further adoption in the future. You burn it because you're like, well, there goes a massive chunk of where these funds would have needed to be diversified in order for us to get mass adoption of this platform. You don't burn your own coins if you think that they're going to be worth billions or trillions more than they're currently worth. Who burns their money? No one. Especially if that money's not worth. If that money's going to be worth, could be worth far more than it is today. He got rid of those coins because he knew that they were trash, and that by burning them, he could incentivize the community to dogpile on, to raise the price up so that he could hopefully recoup his losses on that token on all the idiots who buy in. And that's what he probably did. He probably liquidated his positions as everybody bought in, and then he's probably buying at the lows. He's probably buying in right now. That's probably why XLM's going up by such an absurd amount right now, all at once, because Jeb's like, hey, I think we hit a nice little bottom. I'm going to buy up a bunch of this shit here, and in a month or two, while we're sitting at this same range, I'm going to tell the world, hey, we're going to do this big thing. And it's going to cause the price to go up 30% while he dumps again on you idiots. Because that's all XLM is. It's a fucking scam. Jeb is a con artist. Look at the man's past. This is something else that I say to anybody that's out here investing in this space. Don't invest in companies. Don't invest in coins, don't invest in brands, invest in people. I'm invested in XRP because of David Schwartz, because of Brad Garlinghouse, because of the individuals at Ripple who I have listened to speak, who I have observed in videos and watched their body language as they speak, and have bore witness to their actions and paid attention to their behind the scenes actions and deemed them as legitimate individuals who are visionaries, who have a clear roadmap for where they want to go, and that roadmap is to the benefit of their ecosystem, to their company, to their technologies, and not just to the benefit of their bottom line, their fucking wallets. And that's what Jeb McCaleb is. That's the only person Jeb McCaleb cares about, is his fucking self. That's why he wanted to put his girlfriend on the board of directors at Ripple, and that's why he's not at Ripple anymore. Just fucking look into the fucking history of these individuals. How dumb are you? And that, you know, it boggles my mind that people are actually out here putting their money into coins that are developed by blatant con artists. It's like all these idiots who bought BitConnect. BitConnect! It's giving me dividends. It can't be a scam. Get a damn clue. It boggles the mind. It boggles the mind. But, you know, it is what it is. For every one intelligent person in this community, there's 9 idiots. And, you know, as unfortunate as that is, hey, that's probably why only 600 people tune into my videos of the 13,000 subscribed, right? Because there is that few intelligent, awake people in this community who understand what I'm saying is not just a bunch of conspiratorial nonsense garbage, that I'm not just out here, you know, going crazy, that I'm actually providing you something informative, an informed position on these topics that I am sitting here preaching about. And the reality is, I'm probably not even giving most of you who do listen much more than just confirmation bias, because you're like, you already know, especially if you're listening to this point, you already know. You don't need me telling you these things. You just probably tune in because you're like, this guy gets it, and thank God I'm not the only one, right? Thank God I'm not the only person in this community who understands what's going on. And I love you. Thank you guys so much, especially those of you who make it to the end of these videos. That's why I always wait to the end of these rants to say I love you guys. You guys are the ones who are the only reason I keep coming back here and making videos for you all. Because, you know, I don't know how much value anybody's really getting out of these videos because so few people even tune in anymore. But it feels good for it's almost cathartic for me to be able to come out and vent my frustrations and express these important ideas to you to the people out there who listen. And, you know, I hope that you all are doing well. I hope those of you in America are bunkered down, safe and sound. You got all the supplies that you need. You know, like I said in my past few videos, I think that shy of a revolution, you're in for some rough, turbulent times. I know that my positions may seem un-American, but at the end of the day, America is its people and not its government. America is the citizens, not the politicians. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't seem to understand that. A lot of people seem to be led astray. Even in this community, in my community, you know, I see it in the comment section, and I went off on a few people in yesterday's video in the comment section because of it. Because, you know, it's absurd to me that people don't understand the difference between a nation and its people, and that a nation is its people. It is not its leaders, and it is not the actions of your country, but the actions of its people. And even though I have very little faith in both, I still know that there are many outstanding individuals in America. You know, all my family, most all of my loved ones are all in the United States still. So obviously, as much of American culture disgusts me, I still wouldn't wish anything but the best for you, because the best for you means the best for the people I love and care about. And that includes all of you who continually tune into my madman ramblings. So thank you so much. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next one. As always, on Mars.